I go from $0 to $30,000 with my AI products live on this channel. First, we'll talk about the results, product updates, and then the actual plans. Right now, we are sitting below $10,000 MRR, which I really like, but the problem is that we do not have any page visitors. As you can see, the conversion is really good, but it's only relevant because I've been running a webinar 7 days ago that I've been talking on the previous videos. That was the webinar that I charged $1 for, and we have about 150 registrants. The idea was to run a workshop where I will teach people how to build omnichannel agents. And on this webinar, I was showing one prompt. And it is really interesting how effective it really was. Now, on this webinar, we had about 80 people watching live, which is a lot, okay? By the way, out of this 150 registrants, I would say when the webinar was launching, it was like 135, so it's 15 were added afterwards just because they're looking for the recording. So out of the 130 people, we had about 80 watching live till the end. So till the end was like 60, but still, that's huge. If you remember, if any of you guys from the very beginning here, I've been running the launch webinar when we had 500 registrants and it was about 120 people, but it was free. I think it's either or. It's either because it was a webinar that is specifically designed that for building the omnichannel agent where I was like showing the technical aspect, or it was because people paid money for it. It was like a very simple landing page, it's here, sign up right now. They would sign up for the information and they'll just pay $1. Okay. I already kind of removed this webinar just because it's no longer relevant, and I'm planning to host another one in 7 days. But the thing that I wanted to say is that you see the conversion here. Most of the people that bought after, like in the past 7 days, as you can see, we have 23 signups. It's like most of these people, probably like 15, came from the webinar, which is a good and a bad thing. The good thing is because it shows that the paid things work. So when I put the $1 on the webinar, I, by the way, made $150, so that's great. People actually paid me money to market my my software, but they did get the value. And my goal was to give them a clear picture on how they can build the omni-channel agent that they get access to inside one prompt themselves, right? So I was going over the overview and I was telling them how you can build it inside the high level if you want, or how you can use the voice flow, and we were actually building the voice flow agent from scratch. So it wasn't like a total marketing webinar, and I do believe that a lot of people liked it. They were reaching out to me saying like thank you. So I'm like pretty positive that was like pretty good for them, right? But I was showing the actual one prompt. That's why I got like about 15 signups. So I do think that it's a pretty valid strategy going forward, and that's why in next Sunday I am going to run another webinar. By the way, I think I'll put the link in the description there, so if you want, you can sign up. I'll tell you a bit later what it's gonna be about. But I think it's pretty nice way of getting new users in, but it's not long term. I do not believe that this is a predictable way of getting the clients. This is where I'm trying to get towards, because again, it's still like, okay, you're not relying, for example, on like people signing up to one prompt purely from your organic content. Sure, now let's say you'll do the live workshops every 2 weeks and this is the way how you'll get the clients, but again, the way you get the people onto the workshop is still organic. So I am planning to run the ads for this next workshop and see how it goes. I have like 7 days. I don't have anything. I already have an editor who is like going to help me with that. I have the script, so I'm probably gonna record it. We'll see how it goes. We'll build the page probably today, and we'll go from there. The sad thing last week was that my Stripe account got banned, and I thought that my life is over, just because if you know how the high level works, because we're like white label and high level, we have, an agency view, and here we're like setting up all of our information, right? So we have a SaaS configurator where we like specify all the plans and everything that we would want to do. And we have a direct integration with Stripe. This is the power of high level, just because they provide you a direct, like when people subscribe to your software, they subscribe to you, to your Stripe. So it's like direct connection. It's not like they subscribe within like somewhere in high level and they just do the payout. Which, by the way, I would probably prefer, just because I don't put too much risk on my Stripe account, whatever. So, and they like closed my account without even any notice or without asking for any information. And I was like, okay, that's pretty sad. And my bet was that they probably did it because we had 150 people paid for $1, which are not the users of our software. So maybe like in our Stripe, I created the product. So again, so that's, for example, within my agency, within the one prompt like CRM, I created the site that I was showing earlier. And then when people check out, they check out through my Stripe, in the same Stripe that we're using for the one prompt. So again, the problem was maybe that there are a lot of the signups for $1, and they were like kind of not sure. Right now I'm thinking, okay, it's pretty normal, especially maybe for the software, is to give the demos and the prototypes, whatever. So I was going back and forth, and if you ever deal with Stripe, it's very hard. They reply you with the default messages, but I was like trying to reach out, saying, hey, whatever. They asked for some information on the account side. When I logged into the account, they say, oh, provide information about your business, like upload the, EIN, like from the IRS, whatever, docs. Okay, I uploaded, and then they send me the notification that it's the permanent ban. I was like, so I reached out back to them and say, hey guys, I'm not sure. So it was like the Quimple LLC, my agency, right? So there is a Quimple, and that's like LLC and not the one prompt. So maybe because when I was setting up the account, I like specified that this is the agency, whatever. So they were not sure. Plus the fact that my model is a bit different. So if you go to the oneprompt.com, again, so I not yet have the website. It's just the newsletter sign up when people sign up for the newsletter. So maybe they saw that. If they did the manual check, they thought, okay, what is that? But I was able to reach out to someone. They said that, okay, provide us all the information about the business. I created like a 5-paragraph description on what we're doing. I said that we're white labeling high level. This is the model. This is what, thousands of other companies are using, and they did unblock me, which, by the way, is okay, but I'm not super happy, just because it's a really good illustration that like everything can go wrong if someone blocks you. Again, fortunately, high level has an option, so if you just reconnect another Stripe account, all of the subscription will go there. But if they technically block me anyways, it's going to be hard to open a Stripe account for the same company. You can buy the Stripe account, so it's like it's a whole mess. And this is something I don't really love about Stripe, because they're having a few very controversial bans with me before, with like different companies and with people that I know. Now, regarding product updates, we're running the poll for the version 1.4, and actually 62 people voted. As you can see, that was like pretty close votes at the very beginning. So human in the loop, only one person voted, but most of the people want that we implement the unified memory for the omnichannel agent as well as the voice AI. This is the feature that is very unique. Literally no one has it. It's funny to like read some of the comments from some of my haters that are selling that I'm like selling the thing that everyone has, and it's like pretty easy to build. Okay, tell me how to build the unified omnichannel agent, like unified memory of the agent that can interact with voice through the voice when you receive the calls, and has, like, for example, the contacts from the calls, right? So if someone calls you and then you start to communicate with this person through the WhatsApp, this agent will have all the contacts about this call. Now, I'm not saying that it's hard to do, by the way. Like, we've almost finished it. It's pretty like straightforward through the custom fields, through the updating, and through multiple workflows. It's pretty straightforward. It's just for some people, for the most people, it's hard to if they are not kind of used to think in this areas of like interacting and passing data between different softwares through the custom fields of the contact info. Doesn't matter like what software you use, either one prompt or high level or like any other CRM, it's going to be pretty hard. So that's why we are implementing this, because most people voted for it. We have a democratic community. People, you, if any of you joined one prompt, vote for the next feature. So I honestly wanted to implement the advanced live chat widget and dashboard first, and let me actually show you how it looks. So here, as you can see, this advanced chat is only available on my account because we're still testing it out, but you have an entirely separate dashboard in the widget. So for example, when you join the one prompt without that, and you would want to deploy a omnichannel agent on your website, so you need a widget, right? So you'll go to sites, you'll go to the chat widget, and you'll create a pretty simple, straightforward widget, which looks like any other widget, like here. Okay, this is actually our support, like here, right? It's good, it's working, it's great. But the thing with this widget is that it cannot display buttons or images if you are connecting it through omnichannel agent, because it's not set up that way. Okay, so if you are, for example, trying to build a chatbot for the company website and you want everyone to feel that they are talking to the human, it's great. It's great. It looks a bit old school, but it's a good way, because they will think that they're really chatting with a real person. But if you want to optimize for the performance, if you don't care that people will understand that it's AI or whatever, you just need to provide them information as soon as possible, as sharp as possible. And you're again using our omnichannel widget, which is omnichannel bot that is built on the voice flow. You couldn't really do that before, and now we did an advanced chat, which is, by the way, a white labeled version of the chat dash, which by itself costs either $60 or $90, whatever. So all people will get it on the next update for free. So what you can do here, you can create, for example, a new client. So first you would create a chatbot. You can deploy chatbots through the even OpenAI custom GPTs. You can connect VAPI or retail or even N8N, or in our case the voice. So you'll have the chatbot, then you'll create a client and you'll attach this client to the actual chatbot, and when someone goes in, they will see an analytics that you specify, right? And you can see all the conversations, for example, that are again separated. So here are all the conversations with AI. See, because here it's not the human conversation. This is one of our client bots, but they don't care, and they're continuing to chatting with that. As you can see, it's huge replies, because they want to get as much value as they possibly could, and they understand that they're talking to the AI. So the idea is that, for example, if you're working with a client and if you're developing an email or SMS agent as well as the voice, so you will do everything in one prompt, and all of the customer will manage all the conversations inside the conversations tab, which is goes by default with one prompt. But let's say you would want to have a more in-depth dashboard, like for example, because you do have a dashboard and it's very customizable. We give you like a lot of different options and you can like add different widgets. You can do whatever you want and like specify how many conversations have been started. But if you want something more kind of not robust, but in-depth only for like chatbot, only for the chatbot, you can just use the advanced chat and set everything up. So you'll use the same omnichannel template that you're getting from on the voicemail and you'll just connect it here. So everything is in one place. You will be able to go on the separate, so it's going to be like chat.oneprompt.com, right? Like that. So it's going to be like a separate domain that you can use, but again, it depends on you. So you can like just use this, or you can just use it within the one prompt. So now it's like actually like two software. So if you imagine that like the high level by itself costs like $297, or okay, so like $100, and the chat dash by itself is also costing like $100. So it's like $200 worth of software for right now for like $79 a month. I mean, when I think about this, it's really unbelievable how good of the offer it really is. I'm just like, it's super funny for me to look at the people that are trying to justify that it's not like it's not a good thing, it's not worth the price. But my biggest problem is that people need to see the value. There's so many things, right? And I've spent probably it has been like 20 minutes of this video, and I told you so. I didn't even like mention half of the things that like you get inside the one prompt, because you guys like you are following the journey, you're probably aware of this. But do you understand what I mean? So it's like a lot of things going on and you can potentially build, which I believe is the bad thing, right? I think the biggest problem that I need to solve, it's more like a challenge for the future growth, right? Is to understand deeply what the one prompt is, because there are so many features, right? Like it's a white labeled version of high level. Is it? It's not. Like I can like just white, like our version of high, like sell it like that. I don't like it. One, it's limited marketing, and two, it's not true, because the main idea is that you get the ready to sell solutions. Okay, awesome. But do we need to focus on all of the solutions? Or just one, or just two? Other than that, like deployment, like the deployment is a very important aspect, because like one thing is to develop. So I do believe that a lot of people that think and see the one prompt, watch this video, they think that maybe it's a competitor to voice, even though like I explained that the voice or N8N or retail is just a part. Maybe they're not super clear on that. And now we're adding the advanced chat, which is like another software within the software where you can build even more things. Do you understand what I mean? So I think it's a good thing in general to like add more features, but when you add more features and flexibility, but the positioning is clear. For now, we're positioned as a software suite where you get ready to sell solutions. Sure, but this combination of software suite is not super clear for people that are especially starting out and not familiar with all the software. So like this is something on me to figure this out. Again, so we're like already like crossing almost $10,000 in MRR, but again, we don't have a churn yet. Probably the next video will be about the churn. We'll see the churn, but again, so it's probably going to be like 15 or 18% churn, right? So, or maybe 20, but it's not a good representation, just because a lot of the people are core fans like here. They're not like the people that will join further, right? So need to wait for a few months to see the actual churn. But this is the goal that I have in front of me, because like, for example, I was even running the poll. I love the polls. I love to hear what you guys think, right? And you decide how you would want to proceed with like certain things. So here I was asking people, do they like, what are the solutions that they're like more interested in and they want us to focus on? So here I was giving the scale 1 to 10. So for example, if you cancel, there are 6 solutions in total. So for example, if we get the omnichannel agent, so what you will choose for us to make 10 out, like the best like literally like for anyone, advanced, beginner, medium, the best omni-channel experience plan. Like, period. Like, there's literally, like, I can debate with anyone. It's gonna be the best. Like, you can build it's the best. It's 10 out of 10. Or like voice AI. Or you might want us to focus on all 6, but make all of them 7, not 10, just because 10 is not possible. Right now, I would say all of the solutions are about 7. They're like still production ready. Like, you can like do all the things with them. But what I'm saying is that there are a lot of possibilities. For example, advanced chat, unified memory, and there's like probably 10 more things that we can add for each solution. So it's like, it's literally impossible to do everything at once. So I was thinking and trying to ask people, so what do they prefer? Us to have 10 out of 10 on like 1, or like 7 on like all of the 6? And I was kind of, okay, so maybe the voice AI, and only 3 people voted for the voice AI on only this. So most people voted for actually omnichannel, but as you can see here, this is the omnichannel, this is the voice AI, this is omnichannel plus voice AI, this is the engagement agent plus the omnichannel. So omnichannel is still the main thing with the voice AI. So maybe for future, we're gonna focus on one, like only 2 things, and then productize them as one agent that does it all, that can communicate through all of the channels. I don't want to spoiler, like to provide you the spoilers on the future, but I think this is where we are headed, building just one agent that does it all and position it like that. Okay. Now, so as I said, I'm gonna run a webinar in probably the next Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to make a post on LinkedIn maybe tomorrow to try to get some people, because here out of the 100 people, probably like 50 people, so third, were from LinkedIn, just because of the engagement. So this time, I'm pretty sure I'll have less. And 100 people were from a newsletter, which is like really good. The webinar is going to be around the unified memory, I think. So like, I just like finalizing a few things like in the next few hours. But so we are rolling out this update this week, and I'm like essentially going to do a webinar around this update again, to make it completely fair for those of you guys who don't want to join one prompt and want to learn. I think it's worthwhile to click for you to pay $1 and just see what is going to happen. And to make it okay, let me actually see this. I did not know if I want to mention this or not, because you guys hate me for this. Not all of the people know this, but okay, let me tell you. So first, the bad thing that was the unfortunate thing, webinar was not recorded, okay? I had like 5 meeting recorders, and none of them were recorded, okay? So none of them were recorded, so I was forced to re-record everything from scratch, like literally like a video, a 1-hour video, and because I needed to send all of the people that on the recording that paid like half, that were not able to join. But I was still planning to post it on my YouTube, so if you go to my YouTube, and I'm sorry, tell me, is it a scam? Like, because like this, for example, how to build this is actually think about like webinar recording. This is the new video that I recorded, but if I had the recording, I would post the actual recording here. I mean, so, and I was like, I had a few people saying, hey, Eugene, like, it's a scam. You charge $1 for a webinar and then posted it for free on the YouTube. I mean, maybe, like, it depends on how you look at this. I get it. I'm gonna do this anyways, just because it's a great piece of content. I justify it as you pay $1 to be able to ask me the question, because out of the webinar was like probably 1.5, so 1 hour 30 minutes, and the actual like 40 minutes was the actual like build. That okay, so I publish on YouTube, but I'm not gonna publish on YouTube like the Q&As. I may, but I like here it was not recording, so I didn't know. Maybe I would, maybe I would not. So yeah, sure, like, but you have an option to ask me. I literally respond to like 40 questions to anyone. So for $1, you can learn and ask right away on there. Plus, I was giving people a specific offer for the one prompt, which could, like, you cannot get if you didn't attend the webinar. So I think it's fair, and this is what I'm gonna do on this case. So I'm gonna talk about the unified agent, right? So how you can create a unified memory for the voice and the text-based agents throughout one prompt and throughout high level, so you can replicate it yourself. Plus, I will like post it obviously on the on my YouTube afterwards, but again, to make it like complete fair to everyone, I answer all the questions and I will give a special like discount to all of the people that join it there live. And we'll see if I'm going to run the paid ads on this webinar. Probably not very serious. I'm gonna like right now record like a video. We'll see if I will edit them through that. Like I'll ask my editor to like add a few like screenshots, whatever. And then probably like do whatever, like maybe $20-$30 per day. You know, I'm ready to spend like $200-$300 just to see. And it's gonna be interesting. Like if I spend $300, how many like subscribers I'll get, signups? So maybe like what, like $3 per sign up? No, probably more. Like $3 probably for the free webinar. Like for the free, it's probably gonna be 1 point. So I'm not sure. So if I get 100, it's gonna be good just because they pay me $100. So it's gonna be 200 actually, right? But it's not about like I'm not yet creating the full funnel. If you remember, I was I'm still going to create like a course on the thing and like sell it through the course and not through the live chat, through the workshops probably. See, this could be like the omnichannel if I would add like a few more hours. This is the course, like this is the course that I would run the ads for, and I would say sell for $27. That is promoting the one prompt, and this is going to be the funnel. So we'll see how it goes. This were, guys, the updates that I wanted to share, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.